Well, it was fun while it lasted, but Zubimendi is officially over the line. They announced it before in January. Sammy Mokbel, obviously the Ornstein bomb, the Here We Go got given around I'd say about 6 to 7 weeks ago, about around 2 months ago. And now another Ornstein bomber has dropped with the Athletic, confirming that Zubimendi will be an Arsenal player. And everyone's always asking me, Monts, you done the City breakdown, you done Liverpool breakdown, you've even done a Man United player breakdown. Where's the Arsenal one? Well, here it is, isn't it? Here it is. So listen, before we do get into it, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. We are 35 subscribers away from 19,000 and obviously 1,035 away from 20K. So you lot, please make sure if you're new here, hit the subscribe button if you like what you hear, like what you see in terms of the tactical breakdown and all them things there. Like the video as well, man. Let's get to 550 likes for this video. But without further ado, let's Zubimendi, blood. This one's gonna be a banger for Arsenal. This is gonna be a head banger for Arsenal. This one's gonna be a good one for Arsenal. I can't even lie to you, look. I can't even lie. All right, you know what? Let's just get to the tweets. Let's just get to the tweets. Oh, man. God. Look at this, man. Look at this. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see. Arsenal will pay a total, and the price reveals there as well. Arsenal will pay a total of around 65 million euros, so 55 million pounds for Martin Zubimendi. More than his release clause, which is around the region of 60 million. So it's about 4 million more in pounds. Is what they actually will pay. However, coming to this agreement allows them to pay it in installments. That is cold. The way Arsenal have done that, cold. Coming to this agreement after months of negotiations enables Arsenal to avoid paying these release clause. Avoid paying the release clause all in one lump sum. I remember when we were linked to Zubimendi, paying the release clause all at once was a little bit of an issue. So, you know, the fact that they managed to work their way around that, it's very good work. It's extremely good work. You can't hate on that type of business, man. Obviously, Jeremy Frimpong is something that's going to be paid over 5 years, even though the actual fee for Frimpong, I believe, is 29 million pounds or 35 million. So we're actually paying about 6 to 7 million a year for Jeremy Frimpong, and that's something similar to kind of what Arsenal are going to be doing for a player of Zubimendi's quality. Understand what we saw this guy do against Portugal just the other day. Here's the Ornstein bomber breaking. Arsenal regards Zubimendi move from Real Sociedad as done and signed. The 26-year-old Spain midfielder will report at the start of pre-season with Arsenal Football Club. Real Madrid sources that Real Madrid will never actually pursue the situation. That's cap. Real Madrid are just trying to save face. That and more info, obviously, on the Athletic. So that is the actual post. That's the official, thing where, that's the news that's dropped. And here's my thing on this. Arsenal fans have every right to now speak about this. They can flex their chest with this one. The reason I say that is because I know people are going to, oh, but where's your striker? Oh, where's your this? Where's your that? The reason Arsenal fans can flex their chest, because people like me, I ain't even going to lie, was saying, Zuba maybe. Zuba make your mind up. Yeah? Zubi mash up. You know what I'm saying? Zubi, what's going to happen? Zubi loves the mountains. Like, bro, I can't lie. We was all bantering Arsenal for how long this deal was taking and no announcement. And even some of the Arsenal fans were getting a bit restless at the same time. So, in my opinion, with all the banter, with all the names, Zuba maybe being probably the funniest one. I'm not gonna lie, that was a banger. You listen, they've got it done. And again, fended off Real Madrid. Again, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Real Madrid. I'm not gonna lie. Real Madrid fans will probably say they didn't want the player anyway, but I'm not really hearing that. We're gonna get into the tactical breakdown in a second, but I do want to say that I feel like when it comes to certain deals, they are gonna take a little bit longer if they want to get a better, like if the details of the deal and the actual payment structure of the deal needs to improve, then sometimes these things will take a little bit longer, especially when it comes to a release clause that predominantly doesn't want to be paid all up front. Arsenal have more business to do this year. They could be looking at a Rodrigo. Sesko's price tag isn't exactly the lowest thing in the world. So to pay that 60 million upfront wouldn't have been ideal for Arsenal. Not to say they couldn't afford it, but it's just probably not ideal. So that's probably a massive reason as to why things just kind of took a little bit longer, because the structure of the deal needed to be confirmed. And, you know, when things go quiet, football fans become impatient. And yeah, it's one of them ones as well. And obviously us rival fans are going to prey on that as well. So it's our job. Hello. You know what I'm saying? But here we go, man. Tactical breakdown time. You know what I'm saying? Tactical breakdown time. Let me explain to you lot why this bread is going to cook, blood. Yeah? Let me explain to you why this bread is going to cook. Yeah, I'll tell you this one for free. Why this guy's going to cook. Yeah, hold on. I don't know what's going on with my screen right now. Why he is going to cook. Yeah, what's going on with my thing right now? What is going on? We got a malfunction right now. But yeah, we're going to show you why he's going to cook in it. Yeah, because a lot of people seem to forget, yeah, how busted, and I repeat, a lot of people seem to forget how busted Arsenal were with a certain pivot. And no, it's not Partey. It is not Partey, and it was not the Partey and Rice. Now, I'm going to quickly show you guys something. Yeah. When Arsenal's pivot was this, when Arsenal were doing this, when they got back from the bye, yeah, man, were getting absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Yeah, look at this. This midfield for Arsenal was ridiculous in terms of balance. Rice was the deepest midfielder, Jorginho was the facilitator, and Ødegaard was sourcing, bro. And as much as we've seen Partey be Arsenal's best midfielder, listen, for me, Partey was Arsenal's best midfielder last season, yeah, overall. Yeah, if you had to, just over the course of the season, yeah. But when Arsenal's midfield was this, Ødegaard becomes very, very passive. And that creative spark, unless it's coming from a set piece, suffers. It suffers big time. For Arsenal to get the best Arsenal back, you need to unlock this man here. Let him get on the half-turn, play his game, freedom, runners, all of that stuff, regardless of what you say about Arteta's tactics. But if you remove Partey for a second, and it doesn't mean he's a bad player or anything like that, he's a brilliant midfielder. You put Zubimendi in there and you replace him and you go back to that midfield we saw, but instead of Jorginho, it's Zubimendi, you will start to see this man cook again. Zubimendi, for me, is the key to unlocking Martin Ødegaard. And Saka doesn't have to be here anymore. He could be here, very close to the goal where he does his dirt. You know, whoever they get as a striker, it could be Sesko. Let's put Sesko here for a second. It's looking like it's going to be Sesko. Let's put Sesko here for a second. Sesko is pushing that defensive line back. Ødegaard is going to have more space because players are not going to be allowing Zubimendi. Like, if Arsenal gets Zubimendi on the ball, yeah, players are going to want to press. They're going to press Zubimendi. Saka's now going to receive the ball in more space. Ødegaard's going to receive the ball in more space. Rice doesn't have to. Rice passing forward, yes, he does pass forward, but it's not his game to be very progressive. His progressive attributes are running and driving with the ball. So with Zubimendi dictating the game, Rice will have a bit more freedom to dictate and get forward if he wants to, and can sit and be the destroyer and allow Zubimendi to dictate a little bit further forward, allowing Ødegaard to operate in these spaces here. Now, obviously, I haven't filled in the left wing position and I haven't filled in the left back position because, again, Miles Lewis, Skelly, Calafiori, it depends who it can be. It can be anyone at this point. So I'm going to leave those blank. But I just want to focus on this part of the pitch here because it's very important. Again, Zubimendi, Ødegaard, Rice reminds me of Rice, Jorginho, and Ødegaard. And that was Arsenal's best blend. Arsenal were absolutely destroying teams. That run they went on last season was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. And I think that whether Arsenal fans believe in the signing or not, listen, I know he didn't look great against Manchester United, but he looked very good against Spain. So some Arsenal fans are 50-50. This is a signing you lot should be very, very excited about, in my opinion. Very, very excited about. Let's add Lewis, let's add Skelly here for a second and then complete the 11 and see what this is going to look like. Let's complete the 11. Let's complete the 11. Let's just complete the 11. For now, let's put Martinelli there for now, as it stands. Yeah, cool. There we go. Martinelli's there. So you look at the 11. Obviously, I know the left side is not necessarily convincing for Arsenal. However, that midfield section, very interchangeable. It can even be Partey, Zubimendi. Luke can even do this. Like, man, ain't even deeped it. If Partey signs, yeah, if Partey signs on, yeah, look what this can become. Look what this can become. What, you're not telling me that can't run? Partey, Zubimendi, Ødegaard. I mean, maybe you could say there's a lack of legs. And that's where Rice is probably a mainstay. But in the games where Arsenal are playing against a team that are not going to have the ball, come get the ball. Where are you going to get the ball? Saka is going to eat. Ødegaard is going to eat. This is what this Zubimendi unlocks the two of these guys. Generally speaking, it's looking like an absolute mazza. So you lot, for me, I always give my ratings out of 10 and what this signing is. For me, this is an 8.5. I'm tempted to go 9 in it. This is and in fact, you know what? I'm going 9 simply because Arsenal are paying this in installments, bro. This is a 9 out of 10 signing financially and tactically for me, because Arsenal need to focus on getting the best Ødegaard back for them to start cooking again. As soon as you get Ødegaard playing, the rest of the team going forward functions way more smoother, and he's not as much as a passenger. Sesko's going to get more crosses into the box for Sesko, through balls, Saka facilitating and scoring goals, and we'll see what happens whether Martinelli, Trossard, or Arsenal go and get a new left winger as well. But this midfield blend can really, really work. I'm going to go back to Rice. I do think the Rice blend is the best midfield, though, in terms of balance. And balance is very important. Balance is very important. And obviously, nothing wrong with Arsenal's back line, very defensively astute. You guys are Arsenal very good defensively. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, that's my tactical brain on how it's going to work. Zubimendi playing these passes through the lines, sometimes even getting forward. Ødegaard could even do this, and it becomes this, and Rice sits, and Zubimendi can dictate and play that ball through the line even to the striker. Get Sesko holding up the ball, and then the wingers. Because if you look at off the ball stuff, if everything's a little bit deeper and Sesko drops a little bit deep, Saka is here. Martinelli is here. You know, you can get this, you can narrow the formation on transition, and then you just have arrows running at you with someone who can play those passes as well as someone like Ødegaard as well. So it works in many different ways, man. It works in many, many different ways. Guys, I'm giving it an 8. I'm getting 8.5 to 9 for me. Let me know in the chat what you think in terms of this signing. They've done their thing, bro. They've absolutely done their thing. Listen, you lot, if you made it this far to my breakdown, obviously, of what I think Zubimendi is going to do for Arsenal and how he's going to fare in the Premier League, listen, there it is. I don't think the physicality is gonna mess him up in the Premier League. When you're that technically good and you're able to dictate games, you play the pace at you play the game at your speed, bro, at your speed, and that's what he's gonna do. So I'm not hearing any of this. Oh, the Premier League is gonna be too physical. Give it a rest, man. Try to get the football first. You know what I'm saying? Listen, like, subscribe, get us to 19K. Leave a comment on what you think Zubimendi is going to do for Arsenal as well, and I think he's going to be absolutely wicked. Unfortunately, as a Liverpool fan, I'm bitter, a little bit bitter about it, because I thought he would have been brilliant for us. But again, we managed to get Gravenberch, so I'm not too annoyed about the situation. Guys, it's been another episode of Big Six Bants. Zubimendi to Arsenal is confirmed and signed, and you guys will see him in pre-season. And that's another player joining from the Liga. Big up, you guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care.